I don't think you can hear it at your end, Andy, right? But there's a bit of interference coming through on your end, and it sounds a bit like Babe the Pig is like at your feet or something. It's like snorting, and the fans are loving every minute of it. Rangers is
okay.
says, Andy better try and find the local Norwegian store selling Imodium. Someone, Craigie, a moment ago says Andy Newpork, which I thought was a good one.
Okay.
But aye.
It's better than what I usually get called on social media. So
I was actually genuinely concerned that wee Scotty had gone out for a curry last night and he's currently doing the camera work.
But let's not talk about last night. £10 pints, by the way. Oh, wow. I really, I don't envy MD and the punters coming over here. I mean, Jesus, we made the wise choice of going for a wee stop off in duty free before coming in and heading to the local hosteleries. But you know, £11 a pint I paid at one point. My God!
Oh, you're not getting that signed off on your expenses.
No, they might struggle to get that one through the recce, so we'll see how that one goes.
We've got plenty of comments coming in of a more serious nature. Let me run through a few of them. This one says, Sean says, very little pressure with that Sheffield job. Nobody expected anything. That's the polar opposite at Rangers. This one coming in as well from Rangers is okay. Says, going by what has come out from the few meetings, hires up last night. Patrick Stewart is not a great communicator at all. I'm no fan of his or Thelwell, but at least they come out and faced the music. The Sniper says, what I'll say is, if Rawl manages to win his first 3 domestic games, he'll be in a final and third behind Celtic by 4 or 5 points. That's a start if it happens. And a few fans as well asking Andy, if Rangers do lose tomorrow night, that'll be obviously 3 defeats in the Europa League. Is that them essentially out the running to make the knockout stages?
No, but it would leave them in a really difficult position. I think the benchmark is 4 wins gets you through, really. So, but it would leave them having to win, 4 out of the last 5 games. I think the more wiggle room they can give themselves, the better. But it's a bit like the domestic campaign. They have to start getting motoring soon. I mean, Danny Rowe was talking about, he wasn't going to make any bold predictions about. By magic, here's the man with the curry. I don't know if you'll need to make views on it. Yeah, I mean, I was talking about the importance of getting through the international break and seeing where they are at that point, because he wasn't wanting to make any bold predictions about what the club can achieve. I think Scott was you through the sort of question, trying to ask if we'd be disappointed if he didn't get a win this season, a trophy this season. He didn't want to sort of go down that road, but he said, listen, what will be crucial is if we can get ourselves through the next international break in November, and if assess where we are there, and if you picked up some wins, and maybe you can start looking to achieve some things this season.
Scott, you were going to say something there, Keith?
No, I was just looking at Scott. I can't. No, that way once you've seen something, you can't unsee it. Well, it turns out it's a very similar thing with hearing that. I'm just listening to this flatulent pig that is somewhere running about the main stand.
Apparently there's some sort of distortion on the
an audio glitch. Best call it.
Alright, sorry.
I was once see when Scotty, when you hadn't turned up, I was actually wondering if you were behind the camera holding it and if you'd gone out for a dodgy Norwegian curry last night. But glad to see you coming in from the other direction. What's been your kind of first thoughts on Danny Rawl, Scotty, and I think it was a really awkward first press conference for him at the stadium yesterday, because he could only have been aware of the sort of the questions that were getting asked of the executives and the chairman. Quite an awkward one, especially for a guy that's not got a great deal of experience. What did he look and feel like tonight? Bit more relaxed, bit more in his own comfort zone the night before a game?
I think he was, Andy, wasn't he? He was very, very smiley. He came into the press room. Obviously, he hadn't met us yet because we were travelling yesterday, so he came and introduced himself to everybody. Seemed very relaxed, spoke very well, said all the right things. I like what he's talking about, Jack. I mean, I think he wouldn't have been my first choice as Rangers manager. Probably, no, we know he's not the fans' first choice either. But I think there have
wasn't even the board's first choice, wee man.
Exactly. But I think the fans will be quite quietly impressed with his first couple of days, just the way he's spoken. I like the fact that he's talking about that press conference there, spent a lot of time talking about lights have gone out in this.
This is shambolic.
He spoke a lot about mentality and mindset. These Rangers players, and I think.
Well, let's maintain some kind of professionalism. Come on.
How come when I turn up, everything just goes haywire?
Well, look, guys.
This is the worst outside broadcast of all time.
There's no much you can do.
Huh?
Before we let you go, hit us with your predictions. How do you think it will go tomorrow night?
I think Rangers will win. I think they'll win 2-1. I think Roll will get enough of a reaction, enough of a bounce out of them to go and win the game. I think if they get through the early part of the game, because I think this place will be rocking, they'll go for Rangers' throats early, but if they can survive that wee spell, then I think they can get a couple of goals and win it.
I went 1-1. I think Danny Rowell's, sides on Saturday with Steve Smith's team that Rangers they found a wee bit more of an edge in the final third, but Danny Rowell's not a miracle worker. There's still major flaws in this team that's going to take a wee while to get out. So I think a draw would be a decent result. And you guys aren't any miracle workers either, so we're going to head to the pub and spend what's left of our reckies, if that's okay.
You've got nothing left of your reckies. I know that for a fact already.
Craigie says the pigs have chewed through the wires, and I think that's the perfect spot to end it on. But guys, thanks very much for joining us as ever.
Cheers.
Whoa!
Halloween Fright night early.
Oh my God.
Have a good night, guys, and I hope it's a cracking
Cheers.
night. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, boys.